Hey there, thanks for clicking in. This is Amy McGrady, your premier real estateologist. So today's video is from my home office. I was planning on going out and looking at some of the different areas of town today, but we're quite lucky. We had a hurricane skip us and take a little ride up the East Coast and not hit Florida directly. But it's quite a rainy day, so I've decided to just make this video today from my office with that little cloudy sky behind me. But look at those palm trees. I know you want to get to Florida. I know it. I'll do more outside, I promise. Some people have been asking me to walk around outside more, but let me tell you, it's hot, dude. It's summer right now. Gets pretty hot. Only the strong survive in the summers in Florida. And that's me, because I was born in Miami. Raised in New York. Came back like a salmon. So here I am, coming to you from Fort Lauderdale, Southeast Florida. I work from Boca down to the Keys, so that would include Fort Lauderdale, Pompano Beach, Miami, all that little southeast part of the state. So anyway, today's video I want to bring to you is a video kind of outlining the four main types of 55 plus communities in South Florida. Now we have like probably more than 250 55 plus communities in South Florida alone, but they really break down into four main types. Those are the high-end luxury 55 plus communities or buildings. It's basically resort style luxury. Active and affordable 55 plus communities. Quiet and low maintenance 55 plus communities. And the high-end boutique 55 plus communities. So those are the four main types, but I just for now wanted to give you what those four were. Now let's go into a little bit of detail about each of them. And actually, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Amy McGrady. I was a practicing real estate attorney in South Florida for 30 years, 15 years in Miami, 15 years in Fort Lauderdale, and then I sold the firm and I got out of the office and into the street, and now I'm a full-time broker associate out there trying to find the best deal for you. So this one has to do with 55 plus because it's a thing in Florida. So with regard to the resort style luxury type of 55 plus communities, you're mainly going to find those in condo buildings, but just picture yourself living at a 5-star resort and having someone tend to your every need just with a phone call. Order the groceries in, the concierge service basically for everything that you want. And it's lovely. You've worked hard all of your life and you don't want to be living in a building where you have kids running around on skateboards or EDM music playing at 1 o'clock in the morning till about 6 in the morning. Those days are over. So if you have the means to afford these luxury style 55 plus communities, do it. There are some gorgeous places down here in Florida. If you're interested in drilling down into which ones they are, just hit me up by phone, email, WhatsApp, in the comments, whatever way you want to contact me, and we'll look at them. So basically you're thinking golf course communities. Some of them, there are some high-end golf course communities. There are also more affordable golf course communities. Multiple pools, multiple gourmet, Michelin-rated restaurants, that kind of thing. So that's the resort style luxury. Then we have the active and affordable 55 plus communities. I'm going to do another video on that because that's really where most of them are. There are more active and affordable 55 plus communities in Florida than there are the high-end resort, 1%er type of communities. So basically on the affordable and active 55 plus communities, just picture living in a community with people who are over 55 mainly, and maybe your vibe is pickleball at sunrise and wine tasting at sunset. That's kind of the vibe with the 55 plus communities that are active. Now, some of them are more active than others, and they can range from your huge complexes like Century Village to your smaller areas like portions of Palm Air, where you have maybe 600 or so neighbors with the similar thing. So you can get in an active 55 plus community with from 50 people to thousands of people, to a whole little city basically. So it just depends on what you're looking for. So that's kind of the other one. They kind of overlap, right? The active and affordable communities, and also the quiet and affordable / low maintenance communities. So these are going to be more like the mainlands of Tamarack and different single family homes where you live and there's no skateboards running around or any of that stuff like I mentioned before. That time of life perhaps may be over for you, and you want it just to be quiet. You just want to wave to people when you're taking your walk and they wave back. And there are amenities, but you live in this single family home, not in a condo, not in any apartment type structure. You got your single family home, usually one story, because 55 plus, we got to think about that. And then the nice part about it is you pay a low homeowner association fee, and they take care of the yard, they take care of the pool. You can get the ones with the community pool and a pool in your backyard, but those days are over. You don't have to mow lawn, prune bushes, none of the things. Even some of them replace the roofs for you after a certain number of years, and all is part of your HOA fees. And also repaint the exterior of your house as part of the HOA fees. So there's all kinds of help on the spectrum, from attending to every need to just helping with the big stuff, so you can just kind of lock it up and go and travel. Because let's face it, this time of life, you don't want to be mowing lawns, chasing kids, making lunches, or any of that stuff anymore. You're done. You want to try to travel if you still have good health to do that, and you want to be able to just lock it up and let it run on autopilot. So that's kind of the main concept of the 55 plus communities. Now the fourth type of 55 plus communities, kind of like the first one, it's high-end boutique communities. So basically, you're going to be living in a very small community and having about 50 neighbors as opposed to 500. Going to be close to transportation, close to shopping, and all the things that you demand if you have a lifestyle that demands high-end luxury. So to summarize the four main types of 55 plus communities, some are going to have a more social vibe, some are going to have a more quiet vibe, some are going to have a more attentive vibe, but in the end, it's just easy. Focus on other things other than home ownership and all the things attached to it. That's really what you're looking for when you're looking for 55 plus communities, and that's kind of what the architects and designers and the social designers had in mind when they built them. It's pretty nice. And of course, just because you're over 55 doesn't mean you have to live in a 55 plus community. It's just a concept that's really taken off, especially in South Florida. But now you're over 55, you can live wherever you want and hire whoever you want and do whatever you want. That's the moral of the story. We got to do what we want to do. However, let's face it, once we're in our 60s, 70s, and 80s, things get a little burdensome. Things get a little old. We get tired of doing the things we've been doing for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Like doing the lawn, doing the pool, doing the roofs, fixing all the things that break in a house, like the hot water heater and the air conditioner and all that stuff. So we want to try to make things simple. So That's the goal. You can either live in a community that's designed and has already thought of those things, or you can just live wherever you want to live and hire whoever you want to hire. Point, pay, get stuff done. That's the point, right? But if no matter where you live, you want to be sure. I think there's a few pro tips to getting old. I'm old. I'm 60 plus already, just saying. So I think my pro tip that I'm discovering lately is that I want to make things easier, that I don't want to keep doing that same stuff that I used to do when I was in my 30s. I just don't have the motivation or the inclination to work that hard anymore. I want to travel more. I want to enjoy myself, and I want to enjoy my house and my space and not be working on it or cleaning it like I did when I was young. But I think the pro tips to picking out a house or an apartment is, well, especially a house, make sure it's one story. Let's face it, when you start hitting 60s, 70s, 80s, things can happen. See, I didn't cuss. Things can happen and your life can change in an instant. So let's keep it one story. Let's make it a little easier. You can get your steps in and you can walk steps at other places. You don't have to do it in your house every day. So that's the first thing I would say as a pro tip for picking out a property that's right for 55 plus people. I don't know why 55 plus. I say 60 plus. Because really your 50s, you're still golden most of the time. But these tips, I guess, for right sizing, as I call it, some people call it downsizing. It is a little bit of a downsize, maybe, but it's more about right sizing and knowing what you want and what you want done. So, of course, you want to make it so you have lower maintenance. So you better either have money to pay people to take care of the stuff or move into a community where you just pay probably less on a monthly homeowner association figure to get things done, like yard, pool, painting, moving stuff, taking garbage out, that kind of thing. So you definitely, I think the pro tip is shoot for lower maintenance so you can have more free time, and shoot for lower monthly expenses so you can do other things with your money instead of keeping up a house. And make sure you have less physical stress. Again, back to the stairs, smaller square footage. You don't need that 6,000 square foot house anymore. What are you doing? Where's the kids? Are they coming to visit you very often? Let them stay in a hotel. You don't need to buy a house with guest rooms for all the people that aren't going to come see you anyway. And the last one I would say is, just make sure it's easy to lock and leave. So those are my pro tips for finding a home that suits you when you're in your 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond. So if you're thinking about moving to a 55 plus community in Florida, or if you just are 55 plus and you're thinking about moving to Florida, contact me. My information is on the screen here. At the bottom is my phone number. Down below in the comments section is all my contact information. Just reach out and I'm happy to help you find the space that works best for you so that you can enter this fourth quarter, as some of the guys say, this fourth quarter of life with ease and tranquility. So again, I thank you very much for joining me on this video, and I hope that you keep watching them, subscribe to my channel, share them. I'm going to start doing more videos directed to people that are 55 plus in the future. It's kind of a pivot that I'm doing here on the YouTube channel. So let me know if you're interested in that, and if you know anyone that's 55 plus that may need some help in moving, whether it be to Florida or even in your own town, like if you have a parent or an aunt or an uncle or you yourself or an oldie goldie like me, hit me up and let's talk about these things before it's an emergency. So again, I thank you for your time, and I wish you all good things and peace.